right, and soon we're going to see Michelle playing in the snow. So thanks for joining the show. My name is Kasia Bodurka. Happy New Year to you too.
And I'm Chrissy Van in for Tom Reynolds. It's hard to believe we're already at the New Year, but I'm glad that Michelle's heading up to Collingwood. I know a lot of people travel up north, do skiing. They're probably happy about the snow.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I was at Blue Mountain. I believe it was last Friday. Time flies. Or it could have been 2 Fridays ago.
One of the Fridays.
Yeah, and they had 30 centimeters of snow on the ground, but it was all man-made. So now, yeah, some fresh snowpack courtesy of Mother Nature. So we'll be talking about those snow squalls in a second. They're letting up a little bit. They're lightening up, but they're going to be ramping back up for the areas that were marked in white there. And I'll show you exactly the timing that we have going on and how much snow to expect through those areas. But first, here's Chrissy Van with your traffic story. Chrissy. A fair amount in some places. If you're in Niagara, could be seeing upwards of 10 centimeters of snow in the next 12 hours as a result of these snow squalls. So right now we still do have a westerly flow. That's going to be shifting. These squalls, they're letting up. They're actually lightening up for now, but then they're going to ramp back up to the north of Georgian Bay, especially. You are the target. Same with the Bruce Peninsula and Niagara. We'll talk more about that coming up. Yeah, we're looking at plenty of lake effect snow for some regions. Up to 20 centimeters of snow possible for Parry Sound and areas in and around this region to the north of Orillia. So Huntsville, Gravenhurst, you're under this watch. Watch meaning conditions are favorable for the formation of these pretty intense snow squalls later into the day, into the afternoon and the evening hours. Same thing goes for you in the Bruce Peninsula, Tobermory, Sauble Beach, and then further to the south, Niagara, southern Niagara County region rather, and then the Niagara Falls, where, of course, a lot of folks are going to be spending their New Year's Eve night. Yeah, you'll be seeing those snow squalls into the evening hours. Over the next 24 hours, it's possible to pick up 15 centimeters of snow, and that's for you in Niagara. But here's a look at where the squalls are flying right now. They're breaking up a little bit. They're not too intense. They're going to be shifting a little bit to a northwesterly or a southwesterly direction. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for making us a part of the last day of 2014. My name is Kasia Bodurka.
And I'm Chrissy Van in for Tom Reynolds. I'm a little excited because you did bring some party favors today.
I did. They're a little ridiculous. I don't know. Stay tuned. Yeah. We may have, hats on and such. You got to ring in the new year, right? Because later I'm going to be wearing an ugly sweater. I'm going to an ugly sweater party. What are you doing?
Well, we're doing the Canadian theme for the Canada-US game. So we've got either the plaid lumberjack style shirt or the ever so popular Canadian tuxedo, a little denim on denim.
Denim and denim. Canadian tuxedo should more so be, I don't know, winter gear, right?
Yes.
Snow pants.
Negative double-digit territory in Orangeville at -10, and add those wind chills, and I know you're going to be talking about how it will get a lot gustier, too.
Yeah, painfully cold, very gusty, snow squalls in the forecast, watches and warnings in effect, and we'll get to that weather story. But first, I wanted to give you a sneak peek at the first weekend of and that could be bringing us hefty amounts of snow Saturday into your Sunday, but the temperatures are hovering right around that freezing mark for the weekend. So it could be first snow, then a rain-snow mix, even ice pellets. It's going to be a messy weekend. We're going to be in storm watch here for that, so you'll want to keep it tuned in for that. But what is happening on the roads right now? Here's Chrissy. All right, the snow squalls, they are flying already, and they really have been ramping up since last night. But now they're actually dying down. They're breaking up, but they're changing direction. So now it's going to be the Parry Sound region, Huntsville, Gravenhurst. You're the target of the major snow squalls for today. And I'm talking where we could be picking up to 20 centimeters of snow in some places. Great Bruce Peninsula, you need to know that you'll be seeing the squalls today, as well as Niagara, southern Niagara. We'll show you how much in a second. So right now, here are the squalls. They are impacting us already on the roads, and eventually some places 15 centimeters. Yeah, 2015, our first weekend looks like it could be a stormy one. Models are showing the formation of a pretty intense low moving in for the weekend. Could be first a snowfall story. At this point, it looks like that, and then it's going to be transitioning to a rain-snow mix, the possibility of ice pelts. All this to say it's going to be a messy weekend, and it's pretty messy to the north right now. We do have some snow squall watches and warnings in effect. Actually, the warning was just dropped from Orillia. To the north, though, Parry Sound and areas in and around Gravenhurst, Huntsville, you're the target of the most intense squalls later into the afternoon. We'll have a southwesterly flow. Bruce Peninsula as well as Niagara. I know you're going to be outside at Niagara watching the fireworks. Snow squalls are likely to be falling. The snow and really cold temperatures. Dress for temps feeling like -16 in southern Ontario tonight. Happy New Year. We made it to number 5 there. Are you heading out to the fireworks display in Niagara? You will be impacted by snow squalls. Likely. I'll show you the watches and warnings in just one moment. But first, taking a look, this is your snow squall forecast. Models are showing that we're going to have a shift in the winds. It's going to be more of a southwesterly flow into this evening. Particularly, we're looking at some pretty intense squalls setting up around Parry Sound, so watches in effect there. Same thing goes for you in the Niagara region. Bruce also, you're going to be impacted, so watches meaning the ingredients are all setting up to bring us these squalls, but it's not happening now. It's not imminent. Meanwhile, it is going to be super gusty into the evening hours. New Year's Eve night, we've got 40 to 60 K gusts, but then 60 to 80 closer to the lakes. So areas marked in pink, super gusty there. And as a result of that, the gusts moving over the Great Lakes, we're looking at a fair amount of snow in some places, 20 to even 30 centimeters of snow. That's through the Parry Sound region. But closer to Niagara, I mean, your 12-hour forecast for snow could be picking up 15 centimeters of snow. Bundle up, too. It's going to be cold. Well, we're ringing the new year with a little active weather. For today, for tomorrow, we do have high pressure in place, but plenty of snow squalls. I'll show you who are under the watches and warnings. But take a look at this area of low pressure that's merging with another one from the prairies. All this to say could be a messy mix for us over the weekend. Right now, models are showing Saturday into Sunday could be picking up fair amounts of snow, even for the city of Toronto, but then a rain-snow mix, even some ice pellets. So keep it tuned in here as this weather story unfolds, because really the storm hasn't even formed yet. So we'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, what's happening for today, we do see the snow squalls. They're already flying. Michelle Mackey, she's on her way to Collingwood, where they picked up 14 centimeters of snow yesterday. We had watches and warnings there. But for today, we're looking at watches for Parry Sound, surrounding areas, Bruce, and also for you in Niagara, where the fireworks display is happening. You'll be seeing the snow fly and dress for really cold temperatures. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, thanks for making us a part of the last day of 2014. I don't know if I'll be wearing this crown band tonight. This is left over from my last year's New Year's party, and it's quite mangled.
Well, you know, at least it got to come out for another spin this morning. I myself have a gigantic cone-shaped New Year's hat.
Why didn't you bring it? That's right. All right.
Maybe tomorrow.
Right?
And tomorrow.
Maybe.
So.
Maybe. All right.
Outdoor plans for New Year's. You're probably going to need more than one of these New Year's crowns to stay warm.
My silly one that's falling apart. Yeah. All right. We also informed yet. So it could be a rain-snow mix at some point, accumulating snows at first, and then a possibility of some ice pellets. All this to say it's going to be a met. How's the traffic situation unfolding for now, Chrissy? Oh, yeah, and it looks like I actually coordinated with this map, eh? We have a lot of snow in the forecast, especially for areas to the north of Georgian Bay. For today, winds are going to be picking up into the afternoon and the evening hours. Areas marked in white. We're talking about 20 to even 30 centimeters of snow. That's why we do have some snow squall watches in effect. Watches meaning the ingredients are there to produce these kind of squalls. It's not happening now yet, but for you in Niagara, we're going to be picking up a good 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Locally, it could be 15 in the next 12 hours as a result of the snow squalls. And it could be falling as early as this evening as you're outside watching the fireworks. Taking a look at the temperature stories, it's not going to be too intense for the next few days, but watch out for your weekend storm. More on that. All right, not too bad when it comes to the roads, when it comes to the snow squalls. Of course, they picked up later last night. Some of us picked up over 15 centimeters of snow. And now the target is any area to the east and the north of the Great Lakes. So Parry Sound, Huntsville, Gravenhurst, especially also the Bruce Peninsula. And then for you in Niagara right on time for New Year's Eve festivities on the outside. It's going to be snowing this evening and super frigid temperatures. Yeah, dress for conditions feeling like minus 16 for a lot of us. Here's a look at current radar returns. We're seeing them right around Highway 6, Highway 26 as well, closer to Georgian Bay and the Bruce Peninsula. And here's your forecast. So winds will be shifting this afternoon and this evening. That's when the squalls, they will be ramping up. More on your story coming up. We will have an extended version of Force of Nature coming up throughout the hour. But first, Happy New Year to you. Us looking a little ridiculous in our party favors. These are leftover from my New Year's party last year. I'm Kasia Bodurka.
And I'm Chrissy Van. You know, the only thing that we're missing are all the noisemakers.
Yeah, I know.
Next time. Next
time. Got it. All right.
Things are going to be quite gusty this evening. If you're headed to Niagara Falls for the big concert and fireworks,
yeah,
it's going to be cold.
Are you going? Because you're from this area, aren't you?
I know, but we all know from me here, I don't fare well in the cold.
You don't like the cold.
So I'm going to be celebrating indoors.
Love how weather folk, I avoid the cold too. Now, even 10 centimeters of snow, but it will be changing over to a rain-snow mix. The chance of some ice pellets, but all of this could change depending on the track. So models are right now disagreeing. Watch us as the weather story continues to unfold as we get closer to the weekend. But first, let's talk about your traffic situation right now. Chrissy, how are the roads? Yeah, I'm afraid we're looking at snow squalls. Lake effect machine still ramps up for today, though the direction of the winds has changed from yesterday. So yesterday was a northwesterly wind. We were looking at Barrie being the target. Now this flow targeting Parry Sound and region. It's also targeting the Bruce Peninsula. And for you in Niagara, we mentioned earlier the flurries, they'll certainly be flying. In fact, it'll be picking up later tonight, right on time for midnight. And temperatures, it's going to be a cold one. It'll feel like minus 16 for a lot of us. I'm going to do what Chrissy does and stay inside. Okay, so right now, here's a look at current radar returns. Your snow squalls, they're flying, but they're very light. They will be shifting, like I mentioned, mostly areas to the north and east of the Great Lakes. You're going to be the target for today. All right, we've got a winter storm or a messy mix moving into the region for the first weekend of 2015. But first, we got to deal with the snow squalls to the north. Have a look at your temperature story for the next few days. It won't be as bad on your Thursday. It'll feel like minus 10, though, with cloudy conditions. Yeah, cloudy conditions yet again. Here's high pressure over the area. Today, if you live in Parry Sound, the Bruce Peninsula, as well as Niagara, expect to see those snow squalls because we do have a southwesterly flow. There's that low that I was telling you about, bringing in some messy conditions into the weekend. Yeah, and Kasia with your weather story. We will get to that in just a moment. By the way, this behind us, this is the Toronto skyline right now. So we're seeing a mix of sun and cloud, and that's going to be the situation for us from your watches and warnings that we have in effect. A possibility of a weekend storm for the first weekend of 2015. We'll get to that situation as well. But first, your roads out there. How are they looking, Chrissy? Yeah, we've got cooler temperatures aloft. It's going to be a cold one today. We mentioned that earlier. And that's that cooler air is traveling over the relatively warmer waters. We've got quite the fetch as well. Southwesterly flow. Parry Sound, you are the target. Areas in and around that region. Highway 11 impacted just north of Orillia, as well as the Bruce Peninsula. And Niagara, are you going to be at Niagara celebrating, bringing in the new year with the fireworks and live entertainment? It'll be snowing, likely snowing later tonight. And we're talking about hefty amounts as a result of these squalls. By the way, the winds are going to be shifting. And again, it's going to be a southwesterly flow. Dress for cooler temperatures as well. Thanks, Chrissy, and a happy new year to you. It looks like I coordinated with this map, didn't I? All right. Taking a look at your snowfall forecast for today, we are really going to be pummeled with more snow squalls. Areas right around the Parry Sound region to the north of Georgian Bay. You're now going to be the target because we have a southwesterly flow in the forecast. City of Toronto, maybe trace amounts, kind of like what we saw already for today. Some of us waking up to a light dusting of snow. Did you notice that this morning? I had some on my car. For your Thursday, for your New Year's Day, we've got temperatures sitting at about -3. But for today, by the way, dress for wind chill values, -16 in the city of Toronto. It'll be a cold one. Tomorrow, not quite as cold with cloudy conditions. And then Friday, seeing some lake effect flurries yet again. Now into your long range. On your Sunday, we're looking at a fair amount of snow moving in as well. Happy New Year to you. Last day of 2014. Are you happy about it? I kind of am. All right, but take a look at the conditions we are expecting for you in Niagara Falls. Now, of course, you have your own light show going on for this evening, and dress for temperatures that feel closer to -16. It's going to be a cold one. We're also going to be impacted by flurries. In fact, it could be heavier snow at times, and as the day goes on and into the evening and the overnight hours, it could get heavier. We are talking about picking up close to 15 centimeters of snow. That's a possibility for the Niagara region because of the snow squalls. I'll show you that coming up. This evening for the city of Toronto, -7 for you, and it's going to be super gusty. That's what's making those conditions feel even cooler than they actually are. And have a look in the pinks here. We are talking about wind gusts between 60 and 80 kilometers per hour coming in from the southwest. It is not going to be making us feel any warmer, though usually a southerly flow, it can do that. Definitely not the case here. Closer to the lakes here as well, Huron as well as Georgian Bay, 60 to 80 kilometer per hour gusts. But that's not to say it's not going to be gusty. Inland, further inland, we're talking about 40 to 50k gusts. But the winds, they're certainly going to be catalyzing these snow squalls. The target for today, later into the afternoon, Parry Sound and areas, well, in and around this region. So Gravenhurst, Huntsville, you name it, picking up close to 20 to even 30 centimeters of snow with these squalls in the next 24 hours. Grey Bruce County also picking that up, Tobermory, and then the Niagara region. So not ideal timing when it comes to the light show for tonight, the fireworks. Now into your long range, the next big storm that we're keeping a really close eye on is for your weekend. So the first weekend of 2015 will certainly be impacted by plenty of precipitation. And at this point, it looks like it's first going to be snow. It could be transitioning to a rain-snow mix. Also a chance of some ice pellets, but you'll have to keep it tuned in here as the weather story continues to unfold, because that storm hasn't even formed yet. So more on that coming up. Here's a look at your 7 days. A happy new year to you. And what a setup we have in the lower Great Lakes. Really, we have cooler temperatures aloft. They're pushing in. I mean, today's going to be a really cold day. Dress for values, feeling like the minus mid-teens. That moving over the relatively warmer waters, a strong fetch. And we've got you, Parry Sound and region, in snow squall watches, because, well, we could be picking up 20 to even 30 centimeters of snow. But just a little further to the south in Collingwood, we picked up 14 centimeters of snow not too long ago, just yesterday, and that's where we find lovely Michelle Mackey. How's it feeling out there?
Cold, and that's an understatement, Kasia.
That's a really good one, because I'm outside a lot as well, and you know, maybe do those outdoor hits with a bigger smile, because you look a little bit miserable out there, by the way. No, I shouldn't say that. It looks great. Play in the snow, enjoy. All right, so for today, like we mentioned, more snow in the forecast to the north. For you in Niagara as well, if you're going to be stepping out, it'll look very festive, won't it? But I mean, some places could be picking up even 10 centimeters of snow. Have a look at the wind directions and the fact that winds are actually going to be picking up as well. When you start to see the pinks, you know it gets bad. We're looking at wind gusts 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, ramping up into the evening hours. This is another trough of instability that's actually going to be intensifying those snow squalls for us. So some places picking up over 20 centimeters of snow, and that's namely for you in the Parry Sound region with that snowfall graphic we showed you earlier. For this afternoon, dress for temperatures feeling like minus 14. I don't know if I could, stand outside with a big smile for a prolonged period of time. At minus 14, I don't know how that New Year's resolution of mine is going to work out. Minus 17, that's how it'll feel like for you in Hamilton into the afternoon hours. For the evening, minus 7 for you in the city of Toronto. It'll feel like minus 16. Same thing goes for you in Niagara Falls. With that snow, it will be flying. Yeah, and that is exactly what we have going on for cottage country today. The Grey Bruce regions and even Niagara later into the afternoon and the evening hours. I'll show you the watches that we do have in effect issued by Environment Canada. Kasia Bodurka with you here. A happy new year to you. Are you going to be on the outside tonight? I'll show you how you should be dressing in just one moment. But for this afternoon, minus 6, a mix of sun and clouds. We could use that sunshine, right? Oh, but it's going to be feeling like minus 14. So yeah, you're going to be you're going to want to be bundled up. Well, bundled up. This evening, we've got wind chill values. Dress for the numbers marked in blue here. It'll feel like minus 19 for you in Hamilton. It'll feel like minus 16 for you in the city of Toronto. Colder up to the north. So take a look at your snow squall watches. So if you plan on driving along the 69, the 11 as well, up the 400, looking at plenty of snow squalls in the forecast. In fact, we're looking at a lot of snow resulting from this. Grey Bruce regions, and also you can't really see it here, but Niagara, you too will be impacted by those squalls. We're going to have a southwesterly flow, so the winds are shifting. Seeing the squalls now, but they're breaking up quite nicely, which is good. Ramping back up into the afternoon and through your Thursday, some places, take a look at areas marked in white here. 20 to 30 centimeters of snow. Yeah. And even for you in southern Niagara, where you might be watching the fireworks tonight, could be picking up a good 5 to even 10, possibly 15 centimeters of snow locally as a result of these squalls in the next 12 hours. So this is your snow squall forecast. Overnight hours, it ramps up. Evening, it does as well for us. Southwesterly flow. So if you're in any area to the northeast of the Great Lakes, chances are you're going to be getting those squalls. Lesser amounts to the city of Toronto, really. So for today, it's a chilly one. Tomorrow, moderating it out, but we still do have cold wind chill values. A couple years ago, there you go. Nice to see it. Nice to see it again. For you in Parry Sound, we are looking at snow squall watches in effect into the afternoon hours. We're going to start to see the winds shift over to a southwesterly flow, and they're going to be quite powerful. Cool winds as well. Today's going to be your coldest day, but the winds moving over the relatively warmer Great Lakes, we're looking at picking up a fair amount of snow through the areas marked in white. So Parry Sound, the Gravenhurst area, Huntsville, you name it, the Bruce Peninsula, and also, if you can see it there, the Niagara County. So Niagara, I mean, if you're going to be out there watching the fireworks display tonight, a lot of people are. A lot of live entertainment, dress for temperatures feeling like the minus mid-teens, and then you will be seeing the flurries fly. The snow fly could be heavier at times as well. Take a look at the winds. So they are shifting as early as this morning. So actually the squalls for the morning hours are not so bad. You'll see into the afternoon, though, the winds beginning to pick up and shift direction. With the pinks there, you're talking about 60 to 80 kilometer per hour sustained winds closer to the shorelines. And it's going to be a gusty evening as well. And because of that, we've got those really cold temperatures. This is more of a trough of instability. So really the next 2 days are going to be about those snow squalls. We're looking at no real systems impacting us. Temperatures moderating out finally for your 1st of January. And then the first week of 2015 could be a stormy one. You'll want to keep it tuned in here for that. Meanwhile, for this afternoon, a daytime high of -6 for us in the city of Toronto, your coldest day this week. It's as good as it gets, really. And your wind chill values marked in the blue. So it's actually going to be feeling closer to -14 in the day. Yeah, a cold one indeed. So for this evening, -7 for you in the city of Toronto. It'll be feeling closer to -14, well, between -14 and -16. Same thing goes for you in Niagara Falls, where the winds, they certainly will be gusting, and you will be seeing the snow fly. How much snow are we talking about? I mean, we're talking about a fair amount of snow, especially areas marked in white. Have a look at this. Parry Sound and surrounding regions, 20 to 30 centimeters of snow in the next 48 hours. In the Collingwood area, because they picked up 14 centimeters of snow yesterday, 10 centimeters the day before, and the squalls, they continue. Happy New Year to you. My name is Kasia Bodurka. Buried this evening, temperatures falling to about -8, but it will be feeling closer to -19. Dress for these conditions. You know, exercise caution when it comes to these wind chill values. For the city of Toronto, it'll be -7 into the evening hours, but it will be feeling closer to -16 as well. Yeah, painfully cold, really. This evening, the rest of southern Ontario, the Great Lakes Basin looks like this. Temperatures even feeling close to -24, some of us. And the snow squalls, they'll certainly be flying. Now the target is areas to the east-northeast of the Great Lakes because of a southwesterly flow. That's just going to be locking into a pattern later into the afternoon. So it's all going to begin this afternoon into the evening with heaviest amounts of snow falling later tonight in through the overnight hours. And I mean, we are talking about 20 to even 30 centimeters of snow through the Parry Sound region. You are going to be buried under the snow if this snowfall forecast does pan out. Even for you in Hamilton, well, I should say actually closer to the Niagara region, we do have some snow squall watches in effect. All this to say, it'll be snowing tonight for your Christmas Eve festivities as you're heading outside. Maybe you're going to watch the live entertainment. This is a look at the snowfall forecast. So through the overnight, we'll be seeing it through tomorrow as well. It's not going to be done. Southwesterly flow. And all of us in southern Ontario, you'll know that even some cloud cover here in the city of Toronto picking up a flurry or so. Nothing in the way of accumulations, though. However, that changes for us over the weekend. The first weekend of 2015 could be a pretty stormy one for us in southern Ontario. Still, the track could be changing. The storm hasn't even developed yet. But you'll note that your Saturday into your Sunday, we could be picking up a fair amount of precipitation. At this point, it looks like it could be snow, then a rain-snow mix, then snow again, possibly some ice pellets as well. So it's just going to be a messy first weekend of 2015. Have a look at your 7-day forecast for you in Niagara Falls.